Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Lunch Table Podcast. I'm Brett,
I'm Troy.
I'm Eli.
and we have a variety of things going on. We actually haven't had an episode since semester one at the end of December, so a lot's been going on since then. Troy, you want to start us off?
Well, yesterday, or 2 days ago now, we witnessed the greatest sporting event in U.S. history in the Pro Bowl, the annual great event. This event was mainly special because we saw Mac Jones hit the gritty after a play that didn't even result in anything. And we had Alvin Kamara play despite just coming off beating up a guy. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I think the Pro Bowls have gotten worse and worse as each year's passed.
They literally just throw the ball to the defender to let him get a pick six.
Yeah, I don't even know how you call it.
Bad.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
wasn't.
there is no tackling. There's not even blocking anymore.
It's not even a Pro Bowl anymore. It's just kind of funny.
Dude, the Pro Bowl skills are more, impressive and fun to watch than the actual game.
Oh yeah, the dodgeball.
Yeah, the dodgeball, the
dodgeball's
precision
fun.
passing, Stephon Diggs jumping through a table for a reception. I mean, those are so much cooler than anything the Pro Bowl has.
Yeah, and speaking of sports, Carolina Hurricanes, last night they just came off of the first loss in, 6 games against Toronto?
It was a loss that pretty much just was like what almost every loss they've had this whole year is, which is very close game that they should have won and they didn't win.
That's just been the story, especially recently. They've had a lot of chances, and they've had a lot of very low-scoring games that they could have won by a margin of at least 2 to 3 points. But it just hasn't happened. And then they've had some overtime. They've gotten lucky with some overtime wins.
Oh, they've gotten really lucky on some of those overtime wins.
Yeah, and then last night was just an example of one of those times where they did not get by. I hope it's a good lesson to the team, honestly, because, they're a really good team. It's just occasionally they just have a night where they just don't perform like you expect them to. And that's just kind of sad to watch, but like I said,
all sports are.
yeah, sometimes, you win some, you lose some.
If you live in North Carolina,
You know the pain.
If you live
Yeah,
in North
sure.
Carolina, you're hedging your bets only on our hockey team because that's the only team here that's actually good.
and even then, they keep underachieving. You have Frederick Anderson, who literally before the season, he was probably the most hated Hurricane because of the fact he wasn't Nedeljkovic, and instead he's an all-star. And then the team still loses, some games. Yeah, they're still vying for the President's Trophy, but, they were vying for it last year. They blew their chance to win it last year when they really should have won it. And then what's to say they don't blow it again this year?
Yeah, it's kind of just one of those things where, no matter how good of the team you might have, there's just a chance they could joke it. We saw that back in 2015 with the Carolina Panthers because they were literally, the best team in the NFL. Well, I put that in quotations because they would, score high during the first half and then
They
blow
literally
off.
were 15-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were 15-1, but every single one of their games, they would score so much in the first half and then let the team casually come back in the second half, and it would be a really close game in the end for literally no reason at all. But still, they were still I think the best team in the NFL. There's no reason that we should have lost against the Broncos,
Yeah,
especially with how bad. Yeah,
Dude, their quarterback was we love Peyton Manning,
dead
but
at
he
that
was
point.
probably
He was
one of the worst quarterbacks in football at that point.
yeah, he was decrepit at that point, and
He was pretty bad.
if it wasn't for Von Miller, and we had 2-3 strip fumbles from Cam Newton.
Yeah,
himself.
Von Miller got 2 of them himself.
Yeah.
We just
That's how we lost.
And of course, the infamous one where Cam backed off the fumbled ball at the last second, which that just broke all of Carolina fans' hopes and dreams right there. We had such a good season just to end like that. And then 2016, we finished 4th and 4th. And we haven't been back to anything except for one wild card appearance, which we lost.
Which they completely blew. They dropped a touchdown early in the game, and then Gano missed a kick, and both those ended up coming back to haunt the team.
Which, by the way, Gano just kind of sucks.
Except now he was on the Giants, and he's good again because I guess everyone hates the Panthers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
And our staffing team sucks. And the Buffalo Bills have some of our old people that were actually good, and Buffalo Bills came off of a great season.
What do you mean? They only just won another playoff game, and we're one of the best teams at football.
Yeah.
At least we have Matt Rule.
yeah, at least
Matt
we got
Rule,
that
guys.
guy. Woo!
Let's go, Matt Rule time, baby. We love how he does literally nothing for a team that's beneficial. Love that guy.
Yeah, it's kind of a wonky place right now. And now we are going to finally be able to see a light of a new NFL season without daggum Tom Brady. I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic. And it like killed me more because Tom Brady came to a team that's in the NFC South, which means that now we have to play his annoying butt 2 times in a season, and there's just a point where you just get tired of it.
With the NFC South, the Panthers, they of all the teams, they are positioned the best to be like a good team aside from the Buccaneers, because pretty much all the teams right now, 3 of them are just a quarterback away from being solid. The Buccaneers are a quarterback away now. Panthers are a quarterback away, and a running back. And the Saints are just a quarterback away. And if Kamara does get arrested, a running back away. But the Saints are like $40 million over the cap, so they got to do some magic. The Buccaneers, they might stick with Kyle Trask as their option. So, I mean, if the Panthers can draft a quarterback that actually works out, they could win the division. Because it's not like this division's going to be awesome next year. I mean, it's pretty much sucked for the last, 4 years.
True. They have to dump McCaffrey and get someone that's actually going to pull their team into some form of success, in my opinion.
They need to trade McCaffrey. If they get even like a second-round pick, that's a W.
Yeah, honestly, he's overrated. But anyways, another thing that we're all very passionate about, and we're all actually playing right now in the studio, Clash Royale.
Yeah, bro. I mean, they made the update a while ago to add level 14, made it even more pay to win, and somehow I'm even higher than I ever was, and I haven't spent a single dollar on this game in over 2 years.
I think that we all have our fair share of grievances with this game, and they actually just they actually just added a new upcoming card. And if you've played Clash Royale, of course you.
Giant.
Yeah, bro, eat Electro Giant. I mean, let's just go over this, okay?
Yeah.
You can say what you want. You can hate 2.6 Hog. You can hate playing Expo. You can hate Mega Knight and P.E.K.K.A.
It's not worth it.
But when you go against an E-Giant, you just lose all hope.
What were they thinking when they made that, except for the idea of giving people that do not know how to play the game an ability to play the game? Because, I mean, that's what it is if you think about it.
I mean, for those of you who don't know exactly how good E-Giant is, imagine a Giant, except with even more health. And then for literally whatever reason, if you attack it and you're even within 4 tiles of it, it stuns you and does damage to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then
a pretty good
can
amount,
still
too.
attack buildings. Yeah, I mean, it's not a fair card whatsoever. And it's only 8 elixir. To put that in perspective, 3 Muskies is 9. And if you have Fireball or Rocket, it gets instant killed. But E-Giant, the only real hard counter per se is P.E.K.K.A. and Mini P.E.K.K.A. And even then, not that much.
Yeah, and speaking of cards that only cost 8 elixir now, they just added a new card.
The Super Lava Hound.
The Super Lava Hound. So if you don't know, the Lava Hound has a massive amount of health points, right? And that's big for not necessarily the Lava Hound itself, but adding on different push cards like Lava Loon. It's one of the most famous, or should I say infamous push cards. But you have that. But Clash Royale decided to say, you know what?
Let's add E-Giant.
Let's add E-Giant, but then let's also add a Lava Hound. But it has a large amount of HP. But it also splits into
damage.
2 other Lava Hounds. But it also creates a massive explosion whenever it breaks apart. And then also it breaks apart into the tiny lava pups again. So
fair.
Yeah, you have a massive one. And then it blows up, and it does a crap ton of damage to towers and your cards and stuff. And then he splits up into 2 tiny ones.
Yeah, like I said, fair and balanced.
And then once again, it splits up. Yeah, and it's only 1 more elixir than the regular one. What?
Fair.
What type of stuff
Completely
is that?
fair.
And of course, there's Mega Knight, the infamous one.
Mega Knight's not that bad.
Mega Knight is pretty bad, dude. Okay, you're telling me
that all of it is Inferno Tower.
I mean, Inferno Tower actually did get a buff, so it is a little bit better
Which
now.
I can't believe. Inferno Tower, as a Mega Knight player, I can tell you, Inferno Tower was already one of the best buildings in the game, and to buff it makes no sense. I mean, you place it down, and it's not even it's good against Mega Knight and P.E.K.K.A. It's just good against anything. You have a Giant, it's countered. You have a Expo, it's countered. You have pretty much any card in the game, it's countered by Inferno Tower. So the fact that they had to buff it is really whack.
But Mega Knight, though. Okay, so he
Not
lands,
as bad as Furnace.
No, he lands down. Okay, well, Furnace people are annoying, yeah, but Mega Knight people put it down, and of course it does the initial damage when it lands down. Then you're telling me that this thing is allowed to do splash damage, jump up all over again and hit stuff whenever it crashes down, and also do the damage that it does? What?
Yeah,
That's
but he gets
ridiculous.
hard countered by like a 4 elixir card mini P.E.K.K.A.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets not hard countered, but countered by Knight, which is 3 elixir, and both those are pretty meta cards.
Kind of, but it's easy to be able to get that off because, of course, you have 3 elixir right after that, and if you wait a couple seconds, you can back that Mega Knight up. It's completely ridiculous, in my opinion. I don't think that these cards should have so many things that they're able to do. That's my thing. I get that they're expensive cards, but it's honestly kind of cheap for what they can do, in my opinion, at least. Because, I mean, they have, like, 50 million abilities, and they can counter just about every card. I'm not saying every single card, but...
And it sounds like you're saying every card.
Well, I'm not
I mean-
saying every card. I'm not saying every card, but still, I don't know. There's a bunch of different annoying aspects to it.
Dude, you know, another deck I hate going against is just spawner decks. They always have, like, Mother Witch, Furnace, and Goblin Hut, and it's just like, what are you supposed to do against those kind of decks? Like, those are some of the worst decks to go against.
High-level furnaces are a pain in the butt because then you can't kill off the fire spirits with just your tower. So then you actually have to either put something to just absorb it, or you have to straight up like launch a push on their furnace to get rid of it.
Yeah, and then you can't put that much support behind your card because the fire spirits will just immediately take it out, and it's just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's just kind of annoying stuff like that.
Painful.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
But regardless, all of us still kind of end up in the trap of this game because, like I said, we've all been playing it.
Yeah, because
Uh,
when you get to curb stomp like a level 12 and you're level 13 with like a 14 deck, it's really
And just
It's
ha the
really
mess
fun.
out of them.
and it's just it's great. And
It's
you
a
know,
good time killer.
You know, back to those like spawner decks. I mean, some of them were just even worse than you can imagine. I mean, I just remember going against one where it had E Giant in it as well, and I'm just thinking like, bro, you have no skill.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's just aggravating. I mean, you put like 8 cards to counter it. But you know what? At the end of the day, Clash Royale, despite having still really bad balance changes, so I believe the game has almost always had terrible balance changes. I mean, it's still a fun game in moderation. So
Yeah. I mean, it's a great time killer, especially when you're in school. Sometimes, you don't have anything that you're really doing, especially now that Ram Time is back, which, speaking of that, we beat COVID.
Yeah, bro, we get to go to the cafeteria.
We get to go to the cafeteria, and regardless of your opinions about going back to the cafeteria, we have these normalities coming back to high school because, of course, like my freshman year, and my freshman year was Ram Time, and everything was normal, and then literally right after that, everything was changed for 2 years.
My freshman year, we had power lunch, where basically for 2 lunches you could just go wherever you wanted, and that was literally
wish
it.
they
You
could
just
do that.
literally got to go wherever you wanted.
I wish that we had that now. That would have been awesome, but
Yeah, bro, you go to Miss Stanley. She's got like literally the whole freshman just like group in a room. It's great.
yeah, but that was, of course, stopped after COVID. So was eating in the cafeteria, and so were some other things. But, of course, now...
You can also come to school being with COVID, which is pretty cool. You can literally have COVID and come to school now.
Yeah, the COVID policies are a little bit strange now.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
In moderation, a little bit, but I had COVID probably no, it was probably like a month ago, never mind. I had COVID a month ago, and I took one of those FDA-approved home tests. Come to figure out, they just don't accept home tests, and it's kind of like, bruh, because it's an FDA-approved test. So it's kind of like, if you don't accept this one, then what are you going to accept? And you got to go out to the offices, like a doctor office or a fast med or something like that to get it. But the supply is low.
Yeah, so you almost never get to actually do it, and it's like, bruh.
Yeah. It's just a weird system. And, of course, they've been changing the rules just about every 5 minutes. Recently, the CDC announced, or somewhat recently, they announced that the quarantine time was shortened down to 5 days. It used to take you a full 2 weeks until you're able to get out of that. Of course, all the vaccine controversy circulating around everything like that. I don't think anyone knows what's actually going on. Like, I don't know if there's
no one
actually a
knows.
consistent rule that anyone can follow, and I don't think anyone really knows.
Yeah, well, there is one rule, and it's literally just don't be with people. What we're doing right now is helping spread COVID. Just don't be with people. That's
Yeah.
basically the only thing you can do. It's just literally be a loner.
Yeah, and also you're required to go to the cafeteria, aka the COVID dome, for at least 30 minutes out of your day.
Bro, we love the cafeteria, bro. We love how you have to go there, and there's like literally almost 400 kids there every time, and we love how that's supposed to be safe.
Yeah, we also love the time that Ram Time broke down like 2 days into its existence with the forced educational value of one. Some
Super Bowl
interesting
picks.
stuff going around. Oh, yeah, Super Bowl picks. That's coming up February 13th. Baby, we got the Super Bowl Bengals versus Rams. Which ones do you guys have?
I got the
Bengals.
Rams.
I got the Rams, too. You're outnumbered, Eli.
I think the reason I'm going with the Rams is simply put because the only way you can beat the Bengals is you have to eliminate their passing threat. And it is a really tough ask to beat their, be able to beat their passing. But the thing, and the reason is you have to double team Jamar Chase, but then if you double team him, you leave T. Higgins single covered, and he's
Which you
usually
know
single
how that's
covered by
going.
some dude. But the Rams will never have to double team Jamar Chase in the entire game because they have Jalen Ramsey. So then the Bengals are actually going to have to play legit football rather than just literally throw it to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins every play. And I think with that, they're going to struggle. Their offensive line can't pass block. So they're going to be having to run the ball. So if at any point they're down, they're out. That's pretty much what's going to happen to them.
I'm just pulling for LA. I want Matthew Stafford to do something.
Yeah, Stafford deserves a ring so much more than the Bengals do. Like, I get that, it is a great story that,
The Bengals probably have more chances, too. Matthew Stafford.
yeah, this was it's not one of his last years, but, Stafford's been in the league a minute.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's been in the league literally 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you can say how great a story it is that he's coming back from injury and stuff. No, he does not deserve a ring more than Matt Stafford does. Stafford has literally given his soul to a city that doesn't deserve anything in Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit Lions, of course, went, 2-13-1 this season?
This season?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was 3-13-1. And then, of course, they infamously went 0-16 the year before they drafted Stafford.
Yeah, it's... I'm pulling for him. I'm hoping that our man Matthew Stafford gets his dub. They got a pretty stacked team, too.
They've got Von Miller, they've got Aaron Donald, they've got Leonard Floyd. Those three guys are probably better than anyone on the Bengals. And, yeah, that is including Trey Hendrickson. And, maybe Hendrickson's better than Von Miller, but even then, that's kind of a stretch because of how good he's been playing this season. It's just, I don't know how the Bengals win. The only position that I can see that they truly have an advantage in is kicker. And that's not a joke. They have a better kicker, and that's pretty much it. Wide receiver 1, Cooper Kupp's the best receiver in football. Receiver 2, I think Odell Beckham is probably better than T. Higgins.
Even though he kind of fell off, but he's gotten his act together.
Offensive line, do I even need to say who's better? Tight end, Tyler Higbee is better than anyone on the Bengals. It's just pretty safe to say the Bengals should lose. But granted, they should have lost to the Raiders. They should have lost to the Chiefs. They should have definitely lost to the Titans, but they didn't. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about all the Carolina sports teams except for one, and that's the one with the greatest GM of all time, Michael Jordan. His team, the Charlotte Hornets.
No, let's just skip that segment.
Dude, they're literally
Eli, what are your
they're a
plans for-
playoff team. They're probably going to get knocked in the first round. LaMelo's an all-star because of alternates. The Hornets, baby, we love our team. They're so not that good, but they're so mediocre.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, totally not the worst GM in sports.
Yeah, we're just gonna try not to talk about any other franchise other than hockey, and we're even still probably gonna unleash our criticisms in some forms or fashions there. But anyways, another thing that's pretty controversial, pretty big topic recently is Russia and Ukraine.
For some reason. Let me just ask this: what is Russia gonna gain from invading Ukraine? What does Ukraine have that they don't, that they need? I'm just saying,
Well, I think there's probably more strategy when it comes to that.
Yeah, the long-term goals, getting more land.
Well, I mean, Ukraine probably has warm water port access where they can use to get to other places. Imagine.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what exactly there is to gain from an invasion of Ukraine. But all I know is that it's gotten the NATO's attention 100%. I believe 8,000 U.S. troops were put on standby or deployed to Europe. I can't remember which one. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Honestly,
I guess we'll find out in part 2 of the
Part 2.
Ukraine versus Russia saga, whenever and whatever that's going to be.
Yeah, and we
because
hope that doesn't happen. But
World War III? Getting drafted? Question mark?
yeah, hopefully we also will not have to get drafted. I hope not.
Hey, we'll just send some drones out there.
We do have a lot of drones, though. Yeah. But I mean, we'll just have to see what happens. Honestly, I don't know. I don't personally think that much will happen because honestly, it's probably more of a display of power than anything.
Yeah, because it's just, I don't know if any country really wants to go to war.
I don't think anyone really wants to. I think Russia just wants to act like they're,
The big
large
bad
and in
Russia.
charge, and they're just going to come in and take over Ukraine, and we aren't going to do anything about it. But obviously, everyone from us and everyone from our allies is like, shivering in their boots about it. So they've already sent in troops into Ukraine and Europe expecting stuff. I mean, I don't know. European conflicts are normally just
Really weird, like the
Really
Brexit
weird.
thing with like Great Britain. It was like, what is this?
Yeah, European conflicts are kind of hard to manage
Oh,
sometimes.
another thing should we talk about the Italy Senate thing that happened?
What happened with the Italy Senate?
So they were
No idea.
doing like a Zoom call thing, and there was some way you could join it publicly. Someone joined it, and then they posted a video that was not NSF or that was not SFW on it, and it was on there for like a solid 40 seconds.
Just like an official Italy government?
In an official Italy Senate meeting, they said they got hacked, but it didn't. They just really failed on technology. And an NSFW of like Tifa from Final Fantasy appeared for literally like 40 seconds. It is really, really bad.
That is awful.
That Italy allowed that to happen, that's really bad.
Well, I
That's
mean,
a failure.
that and the content that was shown. I mean, I don't know if we're just going to skip over that. I mean, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Dude, I mean, Italy's pretty down bad for that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, hasn't everyone had an issue with Zoom at one point?
Yeah, but like that, like in a legit government meeting, that's an L plus ratio.
I gotta say that is a bit of a bad look.
It's a bit of an L plus ratio moment.
It's a bit of a bad look. Also, did you guys hear that Joe Biden is trying to manage like national NFTs and cryptocurrency and stuff? He's trying to do something that involves like regulating NFTs and stuff.
Yeah, here's how you do it. You ban it because it's stupid, and it's the purest definition of money laundering. That's what an NFT is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, why would you buy an NFT? It's like you want to try and make the effort to do like stocks or buying and selling collectibles, but instead of doing something that you can actually hold, it's like, yo, bro, I got this idea of an image.
Well,
Whoa.
I think it's more about the swagger, but the thing is that the swagger
What,
doesn't
you want
even
to
exist.
swag that you have like this really stupid looking ape on your screen? Like, bro, congrats, dude. I'm so proud of you, dude.
Yeah,
Like, imagine like you're a kid and you go to your dad and you're just like, yo, I just like spent $60,000 on this NFT of a monkey that just literally looks like a monkey. Like, dude, it's so stupid. Why are they popular? Why are people buying them?
well, yeah, and it wouldn't be that bad except for the fact that there's like multiple Twitter rampages about it.
You think it's funny to screenshot NFTs, huh? That's my property.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
I mean, like, dude, this classic memes. Classic, dude, because it's so stupid. That's why there's so many memes about it. Like, dude, those
Yeah.
NFT memes are, like, so great.
Yeah, just perform a modern day bank heist that's just going on.
The blockchain doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Like, dude, NFTs are just dumb. I mean, it's cryptocurrency, but, like, even dumber than cryptocurrency, which is already pretty dumb.
Yeah, I can get behind cryptocurrency somewhat, but NFTs.
Yeah, like
no,
Odell Beckham Jr. spending like his whole
Eminem.
contract bonus and then losing it all because he put it in Bitcoin and it tanked.
Well, I mean, you saw Eminem's NFT.
What?
Yeah, Eminem bought an NFT, and he's currently got it set as his like Twitter profile. But yeah, there it is.
Oh my god.
I just pulled it up right now.
That was terrible. That
Yeah.
was horrid. I cannot believe he did that.
Yeah, and then of course, I don't know why it keeps pulling up that image, but
L plus ratio.
also, and I think Eminem is trying to make, or I think he's already made it, like a spaghetti restaurant because of Mom's Spaghetti, and he literally called it Mom's Spaghetti. I'm pretty
Sounds
sure.
good.
Yeah, I honestly,
Sounds like something an Eminem type fellow would do.
spaghetti is just A tier meal, you know? Like,
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts about spaghetti?
It
I
can be
want some
really
right now.
bad and it can be good. It all depends on what type and like what. Like if you're talking about basic spaghetti and meatballs, like I've had some where it's really bad and I've had some that's solid. But like in terms of pastas, it's probably not even like top 4 pastas for me.
Dang, I didn't know you felt that strong about it.
Like angel hair pasta with like sausages is better. I mean chicken Alfredo, that's a W.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's just some stuff is really good.
But anyways, I think that's all I have for this episode. Does anyone else have anything?
No, I mean we covered the greatest sporting event in the U.S. sports already. Now
That's the most important, right? The Pro Bowl.
Yeah, bro, the Pro Bowl, the greatest event we've literally ever created as a species. As a country, to think that we were able to make an event just as intriguing and as insane as the Pro Bowl is astounding.
And then the fact that we did not talk about the NHL All-Star Game.
Well, I
About-
mean, like, bro, you literally
It
let
might be worse.
you let every team. The problem with the NHL All-Star Game is you force every team to have an All-Star. So you end up having teams like the Buffalo Sabres and Arizona Coyotes having All-Star players. Like Clayton Keller is good. He ain't no All-Star. I don't even know who the Sabres gotten as an All-Star.
What do you mean? The Buffalo Sabres are going to win the Stanley Cup, bro.
Yeah, bro, in like the year 2048.
Anyways, that's all we have for y'all. I'm Brett,
I'm Troy.
Let me look.
and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.